My favorite feature of Sitecore Personalize is decisioning. It's a very powerful feature that allows you to build complex models that allow you to make selections and figure out what type of personalized content is the right content to present to an individual. And that could be across channels. It could be on your website, it could be in your mobile app, it could be through APIs that are consumed by your call center app, it could trigger notifications to your email or SMS channels. It's very powerful. But it may be difficult at first to start to think through how to actually effectively use these tools. And as I've dug in, I've actually built a tool that really help with that. And I like to demo that tool to you. But before I do that, I figured it'd make sense to give you a high-level overview of how a decision model works. So this is a decision model canvas in Sitecore Personalize, and you can see on the bottom we have guest data and session data, and that's accessible to this programmable. A programmable is just a piece of JavaScript that has access to all the data in Sitecore Personalize, including Sitecore CDP. And this is just a simple example I created to demonstrate it for a healthcare scenario. And I don't have any of the actual logic, but it's basically just a bunch of if statements. And if we look up what the user has done on the site, if we look up what data we stored through syncing data from the batch APIs or other APIs in Sitecore CDP, we're able to access that, loop through the orders if they have orders, and make a decision and return something that indicates what type of content we actually want to present. And then we take the outputs of that and we map it into a table. And this is probably where a marketer would come in and be able to kind of map these outcomes to different offers. And an offer is just a collection of content. And I could show you that later, but we could take a look at each of these offer has a title, a description, an image, a CTA. You can define whatever fields you want on that. And that allows you to take that content and use it in a web experience or an interactive experience. So you can even create like an API with this personalized content that's returned to like your mobile app and things like that. So that's all well and good, but my challenge has really been in thinking through what this logic needs to be and how do you work with a company to figure out how to design this model in a way that isn't going to get into the nuts and bolts of JavaScript. And what I've actually built is a modeling tool, and I actually built it within Sitecore. And right here, this is actually in XM Cloud. It's where it's hosted, but you can also host it in XP and XM. And what I've done is I've given some base templates to allow you to really create these maps or these models that represent different things. So for example, let's take a patient journey map, continuing in that healthcare. And you can see there are different stages. You can be a new patient, first trimester, second trimester, and third trimester. And within each of these stages, you may have different actions or offers that you want to return in it. And what I've actually done is created a visual view of this. So if I jump into preview, you can see I'm actually mapping it out, and you can see each of the stages, you can see each of the offers, and you can see each offer has requirements or restrictions. And these, what I'm calling our conditions or rules, really allow you to define what is the logic needed to determine whether this offer is valid. And if I actually show you what those conditions look like, and I already have a pretty big library already, these are actually just JavaScript functions. And right now a lot of them return false, but not all of them do. Like I've created some actual ones that map to data extensions on the user to see if the journey stage or the persona is mapped to something. But what this actually allows you to do is have a conversation and think through the model that you want. What are the stages of the model? What are the different offers? What are the requirements and restrictions? And then you can hand that to your development team to go in and start building those things. So if we look at this particular model, right? If they're a new patient, we want you to book an appointment. But if you have an appointment, we would never want to show that, right? We want to be cognizant of what we know about the visitor. If they're in the first trimester, maybe download the pregnancy app. But if they already use the app, they don't need to do that, right? So it's also kind of key to have at least one offer that doesn't have any requirements or restrictions, so that if you do match up to one of these stages, you get an offer. The other thing I'll note is, although the matches I have here are kind of first match is returned, we do have the ability to think through propensity. And what propensity would be is, instead of returning the first one, you basically go through all the ones in a stage and assign a value to each of these, and then also assign a function that would determine the probability that this would actually convert. And I think eventually machine learning can help with determining that probability, because that's probably a little problematic. So what you would do is you would find all the valid ones, determine the ones that has the most propensity. That's the combination of the value and the probability, so that you're optimizing your outcomes. So in the end, what this actually is able to do is generate a bunch of JavaScript code. And you can see a lot of these functions are still just returning false, but we can just quickly copy it, and then we can paste it into a decision model within Sitecore Personalize. So if I go back out of here, we can go back to decisioning. Here is the implementation of that. And this get offer name is just the copy paste version of that code. And to show you that it works, I can test Canvas. I actually created a person, and we can test that canvas. And the offer for them is download pregnancy app, which has a CTA, a description, an image, and a title. And we can define these fields however we want. And all of our offers have access to all of our experiences that we build with this have access to the full JSON of our JavaScript function and everything else that we want to return. So this is just the beginning. I'm starting to build out models for different industries. I think this is a powerful way that we can think through what a model needs to look like, and determine the requirements, and then map it into a decision model. So if you want to know more or want a demo, please reach out to me. Thanks.